Welcome again, my friends. Welcome to another lecture. Here we're going to continue working where we left, and that was we finished the blade templating. Now we're going to do database and migrations. But before that, I start explaining something to you guys. Now, if you open the environment, we have the app name there and saying Laravel, right? And if you open app.blade in layouts, right? We do have config app.name. So it looks to on the environment here, and if it finds the name, it will produce it. It will put it here because this one is the title, right? It will put it here. Now, if I change this one, not this one actually, this one. So Lara intro. I don't have to manually go everywhere. Here it is, Lara intro on top and Lara intro here, right? So I don't have to go on, how to say, I don't have to go and manually change all of my about, let's say about. Same, about is there. And the second part of this one, actually, just wait, save. Second part of this one, if it could find this part, let's make it Laravel intro as well. If it couldn't find the name, it will shoot this part, right? We're not gonna deal with that. We don't care. So now we know how this is going. But one more thing: if you do a PHP PHP artisan serve, now when you change something here, you need to restart it in order to see it clear. And that's why I always prefer doing this. Now, the next part is about migrations. So migrations are like version control for our database, allowing us or any members to modify and share the shared application database schema, right? Now, remember, I'm just going to close all of this. We have, and I'm going to close all of these. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit because we're going to look at this folder here. So here we do have this database that calls factories, migrations, and seeds. So if I open the migration, why it's not going on the right anymore? I have no idea. Doesn't matter. Let's just unzoom it a little bit. This is, yep, here we go. Now, we have the create users table. We have create passwords reset table and create failed jobs. Before, there was no failed jobs in the previous versions. Now if I go to the create users table, here I will see that I have two functions, up and down. Down, we are doing a schema. So the Laravel schema facade provides database agnostic support for creating and manipulating this database. Now, this database doesn't exist, but saying that if you go down, it will drop, if exists, this table, and the table name is users. Up will create the table, and inside the table will have columns: ID, name, email, which will be a unique email, verify, at means a timestamp, and that will be nullable. It will take a null value. String will be password, remember token, and timestamps. Now, if you use, for example, in future, this might be a little bit changed. So before start using these migrations, what we can do, I'm just going to close this part. I'm going to close it here. And we are going to the environment, right? And here we have DB connection MySQL. We're going to use that. And database Laravel. Very good. Now, if you have localhost PHP MyAdmin, you can access it. Localhost PHP MyAdmin. And I will have some errors. Here you can create the database, or you can just do this /php myadmin, and it should shoot you to the same page. I'm going to use this one. Now, what we're going to do, I am going to create a new table called Laravel intro. Maybe it's a little bit long, but I have probably, or Lara intro. Very good. I hope I don't have it here. So I'm just gonna hit create it. Now, my table doesn't have any passwords. If you do have a passwords to your data, to your PHP MyAdmin, now is the time to put it here. So DB username will be root, because I'm here root. Also, the Laravel database is not anymore, it's a Lara intro. Let's see if I have it right. Yeah, Lara, here it is, Lara intro. It's empty at the moment, right? It's Lara intro. So that's pretty much done. If you have a password, put it here. That's why when you submitting this one to GitHub, or doesn't matter, gitignore will take care and it will not submit this env file, right? That's nice. But you can also supply this example. So pretty much we are done. We're not gonna touch this part anymore. I can just, you know what, I'm gonna copy this one, I'm gonna paste it here, and I'm gonna make it like on the left side, and after that I have this here database, so we can see the changes. Actually, that's why we're gonna leave it. Now if I refresh, let's see, if I register, it should work. Actually it will not work because we haven't run the migrations. Now if you try to register something, it will tell you that you don't have any database users or stuff like that. Now I don't want to try and see the error, because you can do that one by yourself. Now here the migrations, as I mentioned, are like what? Where is it? Database migrations, and I'm gonna put it like this. So we're gonna deal with users, most of it now. So the migrations are like version control of our database. So schema here, it provides us this facade. It provides us the database support for creating and manipulating the database system. So how we can generate migrations? First, we can create migrations. We can create other, and we will do that in future. But at the moment we have the migrations here. This is called migrations. It's already been created by out of the box, right? So if I go here and if I say PHP artisan, and if I find where the make migration is, so that will create a new migration. But also we have migrate fresh, migrate. We were gonna go through all of this probably in later lectures. So what we will do now, so every time we create migration, it will be stored here in the migration folder, migrations folder. Now we're not gonna create now any migration, that's it. But what we're gonna do is, after we have the migration, in order to run all of outstanding, they are not run migration means, we'll need to execute migrate command. And that migrate command is like just PHP artisan migrate. And if I hit enter, it will say migrating table created successfully. Migrating and users table migrated means finished. Migrating is preparing to migrate the resets table, finished. Now that's why I leave it here. So if I refresh this one, here it is, Laravel intro have failed jobs, migrations, password reset, users. So migrations will keep a record. ID, migration, what type of migration, batch number. Very good. If I go here, oops, not in a users table, we have ID, name, email verified, password, remember token, created at, and if I go to the structure, it looks like this. Their timestamp, we have remember password, we have a password wildcard 255, we have email verified at, this should be time, that's why it's timestamp, email should be unique, name, and this one is ID, and it's also auto increment. Remember, here is a big integer. Now if we go back, we have it here. Our schema create means create the users table in up function. We have ID, this one. We have the name, this one, the username. We have the user email here, which will be unique. We have user verified and stuff like that. And this timestamps will create created at and updated at. Don't be confused. That the last one will create 2 fields here. Now let's refresh this one and let's create a user, rick@hotmail.com. So password will be 1 2 3 until 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Now I'm just gonna register, and you are logged in, and it shoots me back to home page. So somebody will say, and here it is, my name is Rick here, and I can log out, right? So how does this Laravel do? If I go back to the users, I have Rick. This is my Hotmail. This is my email address at hotmail.com. There is not verified at the moment, and it's the password is hashed. That's beautiful. We haven't done anything coding so far, and it's created at and updated at. There are timestamps. Remember token 0. Now, if I try to do another one, if I log out, if I register another user, say, I don't know, Mick, and if I use the same hotmail.com, and the password should be from 1 to 9. So now I use the same email, I should get an error, right? The email has already been taken. So this is all working, my friends. So now I should put a Mick here, because email is unique. Not because the email is not valid, but because the email is made here unique. So now I have 2 users, Mick and Rick. Now, and after that, automatically when we are successfully register, it logs in and it goes to the home view. So where is that home view? I'm just gonna close this part now. Just gonna close that one. I'm just gonna a little bit zoom out. So what are we gonna do here is I'm gonna show you that this view is homeblade.php. Now, this home, you're logged in. If I change here, you're logged in, Mr. Rick. Actually, I'm Mick here, but we can make that dynamically. It will change. I'm just trying to show you dashboard for the user. Dashboard user. And I'm just going to remove this Mr. Rick here. So this is the view that you are seeing at the moment, and it's called dashboard user, right? Next lecture we will. So now what we have done, we've talked about migrations. We know how to migrate the current migrations. We don't know how to create migration yet. We will do that later. All the created migrations will be in migrations here, but we just run the migration. We created a database name, and now all of our database contains this 1, 2, 3, 4 tables at the moment. So that's pretty much awesome, and everything is working, right? Users can log in and log out. The password is hashed. The email is the email is verified, plus it's unique, so you can't register 2 users under the same email. So, and timestamps are created. So this timestamp is different than this one. So I created after 1 minute and 30 seconds approximately this Mick user here. Now that's very good. So we will deal with rest of the migrations a little bit later or in the next lecture. So see you then, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Bye.